Good morning, children. Our today's topic is regulation of kidney function. I have converted this whole topic in the form of chart which I am going to discuss you here, and I'll be sending this notes also in the form of PDF along with the video. Now we are here coming to the regulation of kidney function. You know there are two main functions of kidney. One is the filtration of blood, or you can say the formation of urine. Once the blood get filters, then the waste material which is been filtered out is now called as urine. So that the filtration of blood or formation of urine is one or the same function. Then the other function of the kidney is very important: water and electrolyte balance. Water and electrolyte balance is otherwise called as osmoregulation. Okay, how do the urine is formed? We have already seen that how do the formation of urine takes place. And electrolyte balance also you have seen when we were discussing the process of formation of urine. At that time, the sodium ion, potassium ion, chloride ions, how are they being absorbed and eliminated along with the nephric filtrate or urine, that all we have seen. Now we are here coming that to perform these two functions, the kidney is to be regulated. So the main control of the kidney for its efficient functioning is the hormonal control only. And hormones are secreted by the endocrine gland. So main endocrine gland which is involved in the regulation of kidney is hypothalamus and pituitary gland also, but mainly hypothalamus. Then it comes the JGA, juxtaglomerular apparatus, also plays important role in the regulation of kidney. Where it is present and how do it regulates the function of kidney, we will be discussing in the second mechanism. Hypothalamus, how it controls the regulation of kidney, this is first mechanism. And to some extent heart also plays important role in the regulation of kidney functions. So now we are here coming, there are three mechanisms. In first mechanism, hypothalamus is involved. In second mechanism, the juxtaglomerular apparatus is involved. And in third mechanism, the heart is involved. Now point to be noted that when there is a loss of fluid from the body, means when the more loss of the fluid from the body is there, or you can say the opposite condition, that less absorption of water takes place in our body. So if these are the condition, in these both the condition, what will happen, that osmoreceptor cells will get activated. These osmoreceptor cells are present in the body, which are get activated by change in the osmotic concentration. So these osmoreceptor cells will get activated. These activated osmoreceptor cell will ultimately stimulate the hypothalamus gland. Which part of the hypothalamus gland? Neurohypophysis. So this hypothalamus gland, which is present in the brain, which is associated with the brain only, so hence this part is called as neurohypophysis. So this hypothalamus will release the ADH, antidiuretic hormone, or vasopressin hormone. Antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin hormone. This antidiuretic hormone controls the or regulates the kidney by two ways. So first way is this only, that this ADA actually facilitates the absorption of water from the latter part of tubule. Latter means piche wala, so that is DCT, that it will promote the absorption of water from the DCT. Once the water is start absorbing, because the loss of fluid was going on, this was the condition, so we are to reverse this condition by this mechanism. So this condition of loss of fluid, or you can say the less absorption of water, is reversed because the DCT has started absorbing the water when the ADH hormone is being secreted by the hypothalamus gland. So that way it will prevent the diuresis. Diuresis means excessive loss of fluid from the body along with urine. So it will prevent the diuresis, means excessive loss of water will be stopped because of the release of ADH by the hypothalamus gland. Another way by which the ADH controls the kidney or regulates the kidney, that this ADH actually act as a blood vessel constrictor. When blood vessel will get constricted, so that the blood pressure will increase, and when blood pressure will increase, then increase in the glomerular blood flow will also be there, because the pressure has increased, so that the blood flow, glomerular blood flow, GFR will also increase, and increase in GFR will increase in the whole process. That means the here you can say that GFR has gone down, so GFR has increased. In this case the GFR is also low. In this condition the GFR is low, so we have reversed the condition by increasing the GFR. So this is one mechanism. Another mechanism is what that is called as second mechanism. Name of it is RAS. RAS means renin angiotensin aldosterone system. You know, juxtaglomerular cells are actually present in the DCT, and these are actually the sensitive cells, and they are some specialized modified cells present in the DCT and in the afferent arteriole also, where it comes in contact with the Bowman's capsule and fall in GFR can activate the juxtaglomerular cells. If glomerular blood flow, glomerular filtration rate has fall, yet that means the got decreased, fall in GFR can activate the juxtaglomerular cell. These juxtaglomerular cell present in the DCT and in the afferent arteriole will release the hormone that is renin, and this renin will stimulate the glomerular blood flow, and thereby the glomerular blood flow will come back to the normal. Now you come to here, fall condition is what? Fall in glomerular blood flow, or fall in blood pressure, और fall in GFR. अगर तीनों चीजें fall हो गई हैं तो इसको normal कैसे लाएं? तो juxtaglomerular cell get activated, they will release renin. This renin will convert a protein angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2, and this angiotensin is actually a vasoconstrictor, so it will increase the glomerular blood pressure, and so that the increase in GFR will observe. Here it was fall in GFR, so now it has increased. Another way to control the or regulate the kidney by angiotensin is this, that angiotensin actually stimulates the adrenal cortex, and this adrenal cortex then release the aldosterone hormone, and this aldosterone helps in the reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal convoluted tubule, and absorption of water and sodium result into the increase in the blood pressure and GFR, glomerular filtration rate. So this is the another mechanism that is called as RAS. Now it comes the third mechanism. Third mechanism is just opposite to first two mechanism. Here the condition was fall in glomerular blood flow, but in third mechanism, if increase in blood flow is there, so that what will happen, the atria, that is your part of your heart, here the natriuretic factor is present. It is written here atrial natriuretic factor. I'll be writing the full form of it. So atrial natriuretic factor, which is present here, will release from the atria, and it is actually a vasodilator, so it will cause the dilation of the blood vessel. Once the blood vessel will get dilated, so decrease in the blood pressure will there, and decrease in the GFR will there. Decrease in blood pressure will result into decrease in GFR, glomerular filtration rate. So that way, once if it is fall in glomerular blood flow, so it can be increased by RAS mechanism, and if it is increase in blood flow, so it can be decreased by the natriuretic factor. I am writing the name here only, that is and natriuretic factor. This is natriuretic factor. Okay, and this natriuretic factor is actually released from our atria. So this way there are three mechanisms of regulation of our kidney. Thank you.